Are you sure you know what you're eating? As we age, our bodies stop forgiving what we once ate on the go, washed down with sugary coffee. At 20, it all seems to pass without a trace. But at 50, everything you put into your mouth becomes either your support or a shadow slowly draining your strength. There are foods that seem familiar, even comforting, but these are the ones that act like gentle poisons. Day by day, they accelerate aging, cause inflammation, and disrupt your organs. There are only 3 of them, but removing them from your diet can feel like opening the door to another life. Clearer, lighter, longer. In this video, I'll show you 3 foods that after 50 you should not only limit, but let go of for good. Believe me, this isn't about restriction. It's about caring for yourself. Stay with me until the end, and maybe today will be the day you take your first step toward living not just longer, but better. 1. White sugar, the sweet thief of your time. Sugar is like a guest who at first brings pleasure, but later leaves behind fatigue, pain, and emptiness. In youth, we don't feel its effects. But as we age, the body can no longer keep up with cleaning up after it. And that's when the invisible decay begins. This white powder doesn't just add calories, it triggers inflammation, like a spark in a dry forest. Tiny, unnoticed microfires start to spread through your cells, blood vessels, and joints. Suddenly, your blood pressure rises, your memory fogs, and your heart beats heavier than it used to. We age faster on the outside when the body is burning from the inside. Wrinkles are only the echo of what began much deeper, in your liver, in your vessels, in your brain. Imagine your body as a river. When the water is clean, it nourishes everything along its path. But a daily dose of sugar is like a daily oil spill, slowly poisoning the riverbed, the banks, and everything around it. And even if you don't eat pastries or desserts, sugar hides in sauces, yogurts, and packaged foods. It's nearly everywhere, which is why forgetting about it is so dangerous. People often say, "Oh, a little sweet won't hurt, it's for my mood." But true joy isn't born from candy. It comes from a body that isn't sick. What can you do? You don't need to cut off every source of sweetness. Just start paying attention. 30 grams of sugar per day. That's the limit. But most people consume 3 times that, without even knowing it. Learn to read labels the way ancient sailors read the stars, because in those lines lies the path to your well-being. Find natural sources of sweetness, fruits, raw honey in moderation, unsweetened dried fruits. Remember, you're not depriving yourself of pleasure, you're restoring your power. You're cleansing your river. And with every passing day, it can once again nourish, not destroy. 2. Excess salt, the white silence that becomes a storm over time. Salt is like a shadow. It quietly follows every dish, every bite of bread, every spoonful of soup. We don't notice it, just like we don't notice the air we breathe. But unlike air, salt carries weight. And as we age, that weight becomes heavier, especially for the heart. Salt is essential. Without it, electrolytes can't function, muscles weaken, even thoughts become sluggish. But the line between benefit and harm is as thin as a strand of hair, and most of us have long since crossed it. Imagine the heart as an old clockwork mechanism. Each part moves in perfect rhythm. But excess salt is like sand falling into the gears. At first, it goes unnoticed. Then, the movement becomes jerky. Eventually, it stops. Blood pressure rises. Vessels harden like the bark of an old tree. The kidneys slow down. Bones lose calcium and no longer carry the body with the confidence they once did. The most deceptive part? We rarely taste the salt anymore. Because our taste buds adapt. And the more salt we consume, the more we crave. Just like many things in life, the more stimulation, the less satisfaction. And the reverse is also true. What can you do? First, stop salting your food automatically. Remove the salt shaker from the table. It's a small gesture, but it gives you back control. Next, pay attention to hidden salt. It hides in sausages, cheese, canned goods, even bread. You might not add salt to a single meal and still consume triple the recommended amount. The ideal? 5 grams a day. That's 1 teaspoon. But most of us consume 3 times that. And that's why the heart beats like a tired traveler, slower, heavier with pauses. Rediscover flavor in herbs, spices, and natural ingredients. Lavender, thyme, turmeric, garlic, each brings a richness, a true, living depth. 3. White flour, the dust of time that settles in our arteries. It seems so innocent, Soft, gentle, fragrant. It smells like childhood, like fresh mornings, like a mother's hands. We grew up on bread, and it's hard to imagine a table without it. But as we age, we have the right to know. Not every crumb is a blessing. White flour is grain stripped of everything living. What remains is only the shell, pale, convenient, but lifeless. What was once a golden stalk becomes powder, and what once gave strength now offers only a short burst of energy, followed by exhaustion. It causes blood sugar to spike as quickly as a match lights a flame. And just as quickly, it burns out. We're hungry again, looking for another quick bite. It's a cycle, and it's hard to break. With age, the body loses its ability to ride these waves. Each spike puts stress on the pancreas, the heart, the brain. Blood vessels grow fragile. The body softens. Fat settles where muscles once lived. The mind clouds because there's no stable energy, only highs and crashes. And if you think flour only lives in bread, think again. It's in pasta, pastries, rolls, pancakes, in nearly every convenient snack we reach for. What can you do? Start small. Choose whole grain products. They're like trees that still have roots. They retain vitamins, fiber, and minerals, all the things that keep the body energized, not foggy. Try sourdough or yeast-free bread. It may not be as fluffy or soft, but it's real. And most importantly, it nourishes rather than depletes. You don't have to eliminate flour completely. Just make it the exception, not the routine. Let the white roll be an occasional guest, not a permanent resident on your plate. 4. Trans fats, like shadows that steal strength from within. Trans fats aren't just greasy, they are a modified form of fat, originally created with good intentions, to make food last longer, be cheaper, more convenient. But like many things that tempt with ease, the result turned out to be harmful. These fats don't exist in nature. They are artificially created through hydrogenation. And when they enter our bodies, the system doesn't recognize them. They're like foreign invaders hiding among our cells, slowly breaking down their structure. Imagine this. Your cell is like a little house made of healthy fat bricks. But a trans fat? It's a misshapen, unstable brick. It wedges itself into the wall, and while the house still stands, on the inside, it's already cracking. This is how metabolism gets disrupted. Bad cholesterol builds up, inflammation spreads, and hormonal imbalances begin. And even if you don't eat fried fast food every day, trans fats are hiding in cookies, muffins, store-bought pies, glazes, margarine, ready-made sauces. They're like shadows hiding in convenience. Aging gracefully is possible, but not when trans fats are silently changing the structure of your body every day. They steal flexibility from your vessels, strength from your heart, clarity from your eyes. You don't notice it right away, but one day, it's harder to climb the stairs. Then, it's harder to remember a friend's name. Then, you just want to sit. That's not just age. That's the cost of invisible choices. What can you do? Read labels. If you see hydrogenated oil, margarine, or vegetable shortening, put it back, even if it's your favorite cake or a harmless snack. Your body is not a trash bin for chemicals designed for shelf life. Choose real fats, olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, real butter, in moderation. They don't just fuel you. They restore, build, and strengthen. Still here? That means you care. That means you have that quiet, deep strength, the strength of someone who wants to live better, longer, and more consciously. Today, we walked 4 paths together, and each one led to a single truth. Real self-care isn't about trendy diets or strict restrictions. It's about respect. Respect for your body, respect for your time, respect for the days that are still ahead of you. You are not just a consumer. You are the master of your space. You are the one who decides what enters your bloodstream, your thoughts, your muscles. And even if, for years, your table was filled with the very things we now know are harmful, it is never too late to say enough. And it is never too late to say from now on, different. Because change doesn't begin in the supermarket. It begins with one question. Do I still love myself? Do I still believe I deserve better? A clear mind, a light heart, a mobile body, a peaceful old age. If the answer is yes, then take this small but powerful step. Throw out what harms you. Bring back what nourishes you. Not to be perfect, but to be alive. If this message resonated with you, drop the word starting in the comments. Because from this moment on, you're not just a viewer, you're someone who walks forward. And remember, those who reach the end are always the ones who begin again.